Hi, welcome. My name is Dan McCluskey. On this video I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of the walk. What you're going to see here with Munico. Now this is day number 4 of 1 week board and train. You're going to see Munico begin to now respond to commands within the relational script, which means that strength is now coming through the words being spoken because relational change is actually taking hold now. Even though I'm still pushing, it's important that physical contact is made to bring the dog into positions, especially when you're building that relational bridge. And so what you're doing is you're bringing the dog's decision-making process into right relational alignment by moving the dog, working off what I define as follower moment. So anyway, I'm going to walk down the street here. It's going to give you a kind of a down view of Munico as I'm working Munico during the walk. But again, it's real important to have clarity during the walk. So you have to establish clarity through the lines, so to speak, as you're moving. So the physical itself, where the physical is, the body is, will give you context as to where the mind is as well. So you have to work off painting the picture, so to speak, that you have in terms of where you're bringing the dog into position. So, and the leash is the leash is your paintbrush. So if you have clarity as to where you're bringing the dog into position, your hand will move accordingly without thinking. I mean, it just will. So it's important to have a clear picture, clear imagery as you walk, and that the dog isn't, as the dog's coming out of that script, is starting to push beyond the boundaries of the follower script, that you bring in the dog under influence. So you're nudging, and you're going to see these moments take hold as they're happening, but the dog's head will actually turn in slightly towards you. So anyway, we're going to head off on the walk here and give you a little glimpse. Heel. Boy. Boy. Heel. Here's the street view. We're walking. Sit. Back into the sit position. Again, it's about control. It's about getting Munico to work, stay within the follower script. So as we move forward, there's a lot of stopping. There's a little bit of nudging as the mind separates away. Heel. Sit. I'm not going to be repeating the command, okay? I'm working off one hand, which is good. I mean, that's progress in itself. I'm holding the camera with one hand. I'm working off just one hand. And again, as the dog comes into the script, yes, you can get kind of fancy here, and this is where you can walk more than one dog and be working off both sides on leashes and be pushing at different times according to the script itself. So how the dog is relating to staying within that script. I'm going to cut corner here. So what I'm doing is I turn into the dog at certain points, called circle method, and so that way you're using your whole body to bring the dog into the script. So as I'm walking, right in. Nudges kind of happening as I'm moving forward. A little tap tap, but what it is, just as the dog's mind just kind of separates. So it's kind of like super scripting the dog. It's getting to that point actually where you're actually able to go off leash. I mean, that's the whole thing about how this kind of sets up. You have to, you don't want to be into leash resistance. I mean, if the dog starts pulling ahead on that leash, because the idea here is always to generate slack. So tap, tap, tapping, and the dog should actually be in a floating position beside you. If it's not, you need to either cut a corner like this or bring the dog into the sit. Sit. And again, if the dog's staring too much, wrapping its mind around something, you tap, tap, tap out of it. Because like I said, they're giving, you know, when the dog is in, when the dog is actually balanced and actually in the follower script really well, then a look is just a look, no big deal. But here in this context of a dog holding power, you want to, you got to nudge the dog out of that. You don't want the dog wrapping its mind like that. Sit. And then if that's happening, you'll know anyway, because you're going to get a whole laundry list of other problems to go along with it. Yo. Good boy. Now, the whole positive thing here, and I say good boy, because this is an intervention, I'm working off leadership. I'm not getting, I'm not using learning-based type of a framework. So when I'm using good boy, I'm doing it as a marker, okay, when the dog is into the follower script really well, okay, but otherwise I'm not using that way that most people want to use it. I'm focused on leadership here. I'm focused on what's reasonable, context of influence. So, because believe it or not, that's actually positive. If you're following nature's path and you're nudging, because what happens, the reason I say that is when you see off the circle method walk, is you'll see the dog actually move its head in for contact. And because people say, well, why would a dog do that and want to have, you know, someone make some contact with it? It's because it occurs in the mind. It's a different type of influence. Okay, it's again nature. This is nature directed. Sit. Good boy. Down. This is a down position. Sit. Up. There we go. So here, I'm going to go back into this crate. So here what it is, it's all about the script. And you see how the walk out, take hold, take shape, but it's, I call it super scripting. And, you know, again, we're still at the intervention level with Munico. So it's all about just creating harmony, relational harmony. So it's about tightening up that script. So it's all about, you know, you start off the process of transitioning a dog into a old follower script. You do it smart. It's designed to start to bring the dog into that script through why defines follower moments. You're bringing the dog's mind decision-making process under influence, and you'll see the head turn in slightly, and then even on the walk, you'll see it getting to a level now where I can hold the camera, you know, I can tap, okay, as needed. But again, to understand, you don't want, as soon as you have resistance on that leash, you need to get the dog back, or you need to cut the circle. You need to block that, and you have to work on continuing to bring that dog interrupting that state. Okay, as soon as that dog's mind's pushing beyond those boundary lines like that, you need to interrupt it and bring it in. You have to bring the dog's decision-making process into the script. You have to follow that framework, because the whole idea here is, because it makes no sense if the dog if there's resistance on the leash, okay, and you just allow that resistance to continue, okay, you're not going to have the ability to get that dog off leash at any time soon, because the script that you're following, the dog is into a resistance mode. So the idea here is to actually create a point here, okay, as you're bringing that dog in the script where there's slack. Okay, if that dog is actually floating beside you, and that's where I use the circle method as I'm turning in to create that, okay? And that's all designed to bring the dog off leash. So anyway, just a little bit of insight as to the walk, but the idea is to actually get to a point where you can have two dogs on the walk and be back and forth with it, okay, even at the intervention level, and then eventually off leash level. But it's all about, you know, focus. It's really important when you're doing these techniques. Your focus has to be good, and everything else is kind of peripheral. Okay, so my focus is like you're switching back and forth. But you have to keep right focus on the dog. Hey, stop. You have to keep right focus on the dog. So even here, what happens with a high drive dog, you're here Munico start to express more wanting to be with me, wanting to get out and do more like this. because what it is, like the triathlon runner, as you start to come into harmony, the confidence level actually starts to really increase on the dog, and you'll see it. The drive will start coming out, okay? So it's not about breaking the dog's spirit of drive at all, but the context is different. Do you understand? Like, it's not about the dog having high drive but not bring back the ball, or or chew up whatever, destroy whatever. So you'll see how power contaminates everything. But as you start to bring the dog into the right script, then the frisbee or whatever you're doing is coming through me now. So we're in harmony. I'm in harmony, okay, with with the dog rightly, okay. So the roles have been established properly, so that I have proper influence over the dog's decision-making process, and I can direct the dog, even with task-related, capacity, whatever it is, could be tracking or whatever. It's the ability to be able to target the dog's decision-making process. So that way, everything connects properly. So anyway, hopefully this provides some insight, and thanks for watching.